What's up everyone, and welcome back to another VGBC Answers. This is round number 2, so let's just not waste any more time and go ahead and get into the questions. Alright, now just like last time, most of these questions come from our Discord server, which is linked down right here and also down in the description below. You can ask there on our AMA channel, you can ask over on Twitter as well, or you can even use the comment section below to ask whatever your burning question is for either of us here at Video Game Book Club. Is Clay short for anything, like Clayton or Clayus? I was named after my grandfather, whose name is Clayton, but for me personally, the Clay in my name is just Clay. It's not short for anything, so I'm just Clay. What's your favorite restaurant? This one I've kind of gone back and forth on. There for the longest time, it was Cheddar's. But now, as I'm getting older, it's kind of morphing into the Cheesecake Factory, which is, you know, it's whatever. It's super expensive. It's more of like a date night thing with my wife, or it's a birthday thing, an anniversary thing. As far as favorite restaurants go, like a fast food chain, I don't have a particular favorite, unless you want to count Chick-fil-A, sure, why not? But a favorite restaurant is probably the Cheesecake Factory. Have you seen Sonic X? No. What happened to your Let's Play channel? The Let's Play channel was a good idea at the time for Daniel and I. We got together, we played some games, we recorded it, and then we put that up on VGBC Plays, which is a separate channel, which maybe that comes back, I don't know. It kind of just died out because we both lost time to do it. I had a kid, you know, life took off for both of us, and getting that time together in order to play those games kind of fell off. That's not something either of us wanted. It's just kind of what happened. We actually enjoyed doing it, and we were having a lot of fun, especially I think it fell off during the original Zelda on the NES. And like that was a lot of fun sitting there and playing through that. And maybe one day we get back into it as things start to slow down maybe in life. But for now, the Let's Play channel is probably dead and buried, I would say. Do you like Chrono Trigger? I do. I love Chrono Trigger. I played through it on the Super Nintendo not too long ago. I played through it on the DS, which is probably, the best way to play through it is that DS version, simply because it keeps track of like your endings and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Chrono Trigger is a great game. It's a great RPG. I'm not huge into RPGs, but Chrono Trigger is one of my favorites. So that's saying something when I'm not that big into RPGs anyway. Most hyped you ever were for a game release? There are 3 games that I can point to here, one being Gears of War 3, another being Zelda Breath of the Wild, and then Kingdom Hearts 3. But I would probably pick Kingdom Hearts 3 right now because, I waited 15 years after Kingdom Hearts 2 for this, and I've dealt with the DS games and the 3DS games and the collection releases and all that other filler stuff that Square has put out instead of doing Kingdom Hearts 3. And now finally, Kingdom Hearts 3 is real, it's happening, it's here, and this is probably the most hyped. Gears of War 3 probably number 2, just because Daniel and I love that franchise so much. And then Zelda Breath of the Wild probably on the bottom there, unfortunately. As good of a game as it is, probably the bottom of the most hyped, underneath Kingdom Hearts, Gears of War 3, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Most disappointing experience in gaming? I have a lot of these. I've got Bulletstorm. I've got them written down over here. I've got Bulletstorm. At the beginning, when that game was first being talked about, it was really touted as a couch co-op sort of game. And that's when Daniel and I were either still roommates, or we were still seeing each other like every other weekend or something like that, depending on who went to whose apartment. Then we had Section 8, which is a huge disappointment. That's one that Daniel actually recommended that I go get because it looked really good. I bought it. I played like 30, 45 minutes of it and absolutely hated Daniel for the next, I don't know, 10 years or so. I'm still mad at him for that game. And then we have Fallout New Vegas, as good of a game as that appears to have turned out to be. I pre-ordered that, the big collector's edition or whatever, and then as I was playing through it, early on, before all the bugs and stuff were worked out, I got some glitches that ended up deleting all of my pre-order bonuses as items, and then also deleted my save file that was about 6 or 7 hours in. So that was a huge disappointment, and literally I have not gone back to that game since, even though I have heard good things about it now. I have not gone back to it because of that reason, but probably the most disappointing experience in gaming to me goes along with another question that I'll read here. Another question is, what video game moment ruined the game for you? And these kind of go hand in hand because the most disappointing experience in gaming was The Messenger. I'll say that there's spoilers coming up here. The Messenger started out really cool, a really good platformer, sort of in the same vein as Ninja Gaiden, and I absolutely loved it. And then about halfway through the game, it kind of flips and becomes a Metroidvania style game. Because I love the Metroidvania style, I didn't want the Messenger to be that. After playing through it like that, the Ninja Gaiden way, for so long, for it to just flip into a Metroidvania, kind of, to be quite honest, it pissed me off. So much so that when that happened, I played maybe 30 more minutes of it, and I haven't touched it since. That game literally was probably the biggest disappointment for me as far as gaming goes, right now, at least. Do you enjoy other game consoles or platforms besides Nintendo? Absolutely. So I grew up with an NES, and then I didn't have the Super Nintendo. My aunt in the family had the Super Nintendo. We had a Sega Genesis, so I played a lot of Sega, and then like PlayStation 2, regular PlayStation, and then PlayStation 2 for like the Kingdom Hearts series, some early Guitar Hero, the Xbox for Halo, some Need for Speed when that was first coming around. Really, I do enjoy Nintendo a lot, but yes, I do also play like Sony PlayStation, Xbox. I enjoy the Genesis. I enjoy a lot of things. So yeah. Here's a good one. Least nostalgic game that's still nostalgic. I would say the least nostalgic game that's still nostalgic is probably Sonic Spinball from the Sega Genesis, because like that game brings up a lot of memories, but also they're just memories. Like nothing really is attached to them, nothing like family member wise or anything. It's just kind of like, yeah, this was a game I played when I was little. But I would probably give that least nostalgic game that's still nostalgic title to Sonic Spinball on the Sega Genesis. Most iconic or nostalgic moment in a video game. I kind of have three that I want to run through and then pick one of them. Number one is in BioShock, when the whole "would you kindly" starts getting unraveled and revealed. The Bowser fight in Super Mario Bros. 3 was a really good moment in video games, at least for me. And then also playing the moon level on the original DuckTales at any time is another really good moment. Mainly probably because of the music. The music on that level is the most nostalgic music to me from that game. While I enjoy that game entirely, that song is probably the tops. But for me, most iconic moment in video game is probably the Bowser fight from Super Mario Bros. 3. I remember when I first got there, trying to figure out what exactly I had to do in order to win and all this other stuff. I was there with one of my best friends on our block at the time, lived like 3 or 4 houses down, and we were sitting there, trying to figure out like, well, what do we have to do to win? What has to happen? We finally figured it out, and that's why that moment lives on for me as one of the most iconic. Chick-fil-A or McDonald's? Chick-fil-A is awesome, McDonald's is gross. I love McDonald's, but Chick-fil-A will always win. If you could make a video game What kind of game would it be? RPG, etc., and what would it be about? My initial gut reaction is kind of to say a platformer, because that's my favorite style of game. But in reality, I would love to make an RPG tennis game in the style of Golf Story. I know we had that with, Mario Tennis back in the day, but it's been a long time since we've had a really good Mario Tennis game. I love Golf Story, so I would love to have a tennis game set in that same kind of realm, like a tennis story, where you're just trying to come up the ranks and improve and be better and become the best in the world. I think that would be really cool. And that's going to do it for this round of questions. As always, we appreciate you all asking over on the Discord and the AMA channel, over on Twitter, or even down in the comments here. However you want to get us your hot, burning questions, feel free to take whatever means necessary to get those to us, and we will try to get those into one of these videos. And until next time, take care, everyone.
Well, thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. Here's 2 more videos just in case you enjoyed what you saw in this one, and if you really enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe, and also click that little bell icon just so you get updated every time we post a new video. And until next time, take care.